All right, welcome to another episode of Modern Wong Chat, where I get to talk to my friends from different industry, from everywhere around the world, about different things. Like where we come from, how we get to where we are. It's just a fun time, especially right now we are in quarantine. I get to hang out with friends, so this is a great way for me to socialize people. I'm going a bit crazy from quarantine. Today we have VampyBitMe. She's a great streamer, a cosplayer, a Gundam enthusiast, but she's a great human being, very bubbly overall, and I love her for everything that she does. It's easier for her to explain herself, but before I bring her on, just make sure you can watch this live on Twitch, Tuesday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can watch this on YouTube or listen to it later on Spotify, iTunes, or any platforms that you use to listen to podcasts. We're also going to be doing some extra content for Patreon later, but I'm still figuring that out. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let me go ahead and welcome the guest of the day. Today we have Vampy. Hey, hi. You are live now. You're great.
Hey.
Hi. For some reason, you were frozen for a second. It's like, oh, maybe the internet has been going crazy though.
Yes, it's been always really crazy, but we got lucky in this place because it hasn't been as bad. But
I think it's worse for me right now because it's like multiple things, right? With the internet itself, and then Twitch is acting weird. So it's just a bunch of different.
You get dropped?
I think so.
Okay.
Stella actually has it way worse.
I think
she
it's
posted
just
about
our area.
Yeah.
It's probably our area. It's always dropped all the time for me before.
Yeah,
So-
I am down to I am at least still have some speed, but I think for Stella she's down to less than 1 megabit per second before, and then it was
they need to fix that.
unstreamable.
She's streaming
Yeah,
all the time now.
yeah, she is.
That's terrible. That was bad. Poor us, because it's California. We should have better
We should right. You would think being California, one of the most advanced state of the country, you think it would be better, right?
I don't know. I don't know anymore because we're in quarantine.
Yeah, and even back in up in San Jose, I feel like it would be better too, but it's not.
Oh, it's not. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
It's just really weird because you would think, oh, we are Silicon Valley, so close to it. Everyone should have really advanced tech.
There's a lot that is, really different from LA and SoCal and NorCal. Huge difference. I mean, not just technology, just people, mentality, everything.
Every time I drive, back when before I moved down here, right, I would drive down here once every few months.
Okay.
And I would be like, huh. It feels different. It's I know I'm in the same state, but it feels like an alternative universe where everything changed a little bit.
Oh, it's a huge difference. I mean, we're Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
So I think that even the people that you meet is 100% different, I noticed that I was a lot different than people here immediately when I moved here, but I got used to it. It's nice. I mean,
do you like it better or worse?
We'll talk about that later. We can talk about that later. I think personally, I'm fine wherever I go. It's just the traffic everyone complains about here. And maybe sometimes the characters that you do meet, people, they're different for sure.
Oh, yeah. There's a few people I talk to too that talk about that because we are content creators.
Yeah.
And, slash whatever the industry calls influencers.
Okay.
So it's strange when... Yeah, it's strange how some people act after they kind of recognize what you do or who you are, and
it's a little bit. Yeah, it took me by surprise actually because, we just do what we like, right? And the scene has evolved a lot, since we started, and now we're actually, working in it and actually making it a career. Which is still kind of weird for me, even just waking up. We'll delve into that too. But it is very different. They do treat you differently.
We are also in multiple scenes, gaming, cosplay,
toys.
And you, of course, toys. Yeah,
Toys.
So I don't know much about the toy industry. To be honest, I feel like is it. I don't know. Is it So there's of course the creator side, but there's a fan side, and then there's the industry side. I'm not
Right.
even sure how it operates. Yeah.
So for the toy scene in general, it is definitely different. There's a lot writing on. Well, I worked for Ben Presto. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Ben Presto, but they do all the Crane game toys like Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece and all those like really cool figurines that you see at like on Crunchyroll and things like that. I worked for them for 2 years, and just understanding the back end of like creation process, how long things take in production. Production takes forever.
Oh yeah,
and how much money is involved. I learned a lot with that scene. And I collect Gunpla, so that's another thing too. And my friend actually used to work at the factory in Japan, so I learned a lot about that too. So it's a huge difference between, I guess, cosplay and the toy scene. Huge.
Yeah. I have a friend who just got married, and his wife is from China, but she's like in that scene where they do.
I'm sure.
It's
production.
Artists made toys. I feel like toy is such a weird way to say it because it's more like collectible. It's not like a transformer you buy from the store.
No, which is awesome too. I mean,
definitely.
They're all art.
Yeah.
But I think there is a huge difference between, like, for example, there's Kid Robot where they do art collectibles, which is Jesse. Jesse does. He does art collectibles, which is his art transformed or put
There's
onto
a big one behind you. Yeah.
Yes, like that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of more for display. Whereas, I have some Gunpla right here. You can't see it, but everyone knows what Gunpla is. Or if they don't know, is Gundam models, right? Plastic models. And those are more like you can pose them and stuff like that, but it's not as, it's still art.
I think it's like the difference between like beer you buy at the store and artisan beer where they craft it, especially at like a brewery
kind of like that.
Thing.
Yeah, because you're it's more like anime fandom. And whereas, the ones behind me here, which I collect a lot, they do the original art and they're expressing their art.
Yeah.
So it's
but
not
it's so
like
much harder to make too because you're not doing mass productions.
Yes.
So then you are only limited to make, however you can or whatever the people want or a very limited supply kind of thing.
I think the main reason why even before anime figures or, collecting all those, I was a big advocate for art collectibles because these are people who thought of this idea themselves, pushed their own art themselves, did not need anyone to help them do it. And they made their own name. And this was in early 2000s, maybe late, like 1999, around that time. And I was like, that's so cool. Like they didn't rely on a popular franchise to make their name. And that blew my mind. So,
but that's difficult. That's the thing. Like
it's difficult.
You're not riding on a franchise.
No, you're not you're not riding on anything. You're just do good work.
That is like,
I really respect
I feel
that.
like the same for drawing stuff too, like original design versus like, fan art kind of things.
Right.
Same for songs, doing covers versus, writing your own songs.
And I think that like, I have a huge respect for both. I mean, we all do because, even doing something for a popular franchise has a lot to writing on it too. Just like, for example, Final Fantasy Remake, 7 Remake. I'm sure the creators were very nervous about it too, making sure that they're doing it justice to fans all around the world. I can't talk for them, but
so I have a quick question about the toy part, because like for songs or art, you can do fan art. Is that something that people can do, or like a franchise inspired type of toy kind of thing?
Yes, you can, but you have to change it quite a bit. Or else you get in trouble.
Yeah.
You'd have to change the design, like at least, I forgot what it was. I think it was 20% or 30% or something.
Because like a lot of musicians on YouTube, I feel like for them to get popular or get like some kind of people attraction, they would do cover of songs, so then people can look at their original songs.
Right.
So they do a mix of both.
I think cosplay is like that too.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
you know.
I mean, that's is
And
how I am with my photos too. You know,
I
like
see. Okay, I'm learning something.
yeah. So I like shooting cosplay, and I like
Mhm.
shooting a lot of things that majority of the audience enjoy a lot. But it's
Okay,
not definitely my favorite. You know, like some of
I
my
see.
favorite would be surreal photography, or
Hmm.
like even some of my landscapes. But they take a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Landscape for sure, you have to like travel somewhere and then set up a tripod and then try to get the shot that you want. I even used to shoot journalistic photography, so I used to do that a
Oh,
lot. But
I
it's
think I
not gonna,
remember you saying that. Yeah.
yeah, but it's not gonna get people really excited about, especially if
Right.
you like people would like very sensational photos, but then a lot of them are fake now because you have to create the moment so people would like it. Just like how
Yes.
back in the wars day, like people would like move bodies just to get a war photos to look at a certain way.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. So that was the thing. So it's different. And it's strange too because some people find it they're not used to it and they would
Mhm.
find it uncomfortable because sometimes in order for me to get those very candid moments, I have to get my long lens from very far apart just to get them doing their thing. And it could be very
I am
genuine.
so you have lost me with the lenses because you guys have so many of them. The thing is about me, I stick to what I know and what I'm good at, and then I hire out people who like you, or like who actually know their stuff. So I really respect that too because it's so huge. It's like teaching someone how to sew. It's like
Yeah. There's so many
where
different
do you
ways too.
start?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So
It's weird because I always feel like I don't know that much about photography or editing, or I feel like it's very easy until I start teaching someone. Then I realize how much I do know.
yeah, for sure, because it's
Yeah.
natural to you now.
Yeah, like I know all the shortcut key with my hands right now, even when I'm
Right.
doing Photoshop. So I could just do it without looking and just keep going really quickly too.
Like how some artists like eyeball something and they can create it
Mhm.
without
Oh, yeah.
like patterns
Do-
or anything.
Do you know this artist by the name Art Germ? He
I
draws.
love Stanley.
Oh yeah, Stanley.
Yo,
Yeah.
he's so amazing. Every time I see him, I know for sure. Like I always ask him, "Can I get a commission done?" And
Uh-huh.
he's like, "No, this is the last day." Is always at the last day of the con, and he's leaving. So
Uh-huh.
I'm really sad. I always want to commission him. So Stanley, if you watch this, I want to commission you, but you're always flying out the last day. It's so sad.
I'll
He's
let him
awesome.
know.
He's
Yeah,
really
I'm trying to-
tall.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
He's
you know
so tall.
he's from what, Singapore?
Singapore, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
So we did a panel together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, last year in
Wow.
San Diego Comic Con. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, Deviant Arts brought us out, and then we were on a panel, so I was
Oh,
sitting
that's
next
right. I
to
saw
him.
that. Yeah.
And it was great. And he also speaks Cantonese, so we instantly bonded.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I
every time
didn't
I
know
saw
that.
him, I talked to him. Yeah.
He's such a
Mhm.
nice guy, and like
He is.
he's prolific. Like he's
Huh.
always working and posting, and it's really inspirational. Like just his work ethic,
Mm-hmm.
and just he does everything. It's really
And
cool.
he's
really
but
quickly.
he's like at the next level. It's hilarious because we were on the panel and some
Uh-huh.
college kid was asking like, they were asking like, oh, how can I get started, in doing art, or like making a
Uh-huh.
living at art? Because Stanley, being Stanley, he was like, drop everything that you do. Like basically, that's what he's like. Drop everything you do. Just go straight into it. Start your own business. Start your own company and make art.
Okay, I don't know.
That's what he did because and he's like, because the first time he did it and he didn't like the company that he was part of.
I
And
see.
then he's like, he quit and he started his second company and make his own thing. I'm like in my head, it's like, Stanley, like a college kid from straight out of college couldn't do that,
Yeah, right.
So it's just hilarious. His mindset is already so far.
But you know what?
already.
He did it. So maybe some people,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
like him.
It's definitely work for some people. But
Yeah, exactly. Like, but he's just.
yeah.
But he also has the talent too.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of
Uh-huh.
people don't understand there's a formula to a lot of things that happen. There's luck involved,
Mhm.
timing,
Mhm.
when you
Hard
got
work.
into
Mhm.
it. And then also who you meet is a big
Mhm.
one because, like you can't just do everything alone,
Oh no, yeah. Mhm.
and yeah, I'm sure everything worked out for him, especially his talent and the way he works. He's
Like what I
hard-
always say is that you have to be hardworking and
Mhm.
good at what you do, but then you have to be ready when the opportunity arrive. And that's
yes,
the thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time for me is that I feel like almost everyone I talk to on this stream, on this show, we talk about how we were lucky in a sense that like we didn't try to do this for a living at first. This wasn't a thing.
No.
It's
like,
not even a thing at all. So we
No.
really loved it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
And we still do. Yeah,
I think a
and that's
lot
why
of
we
people
keep doing
don't
it.
understand that in the beginning. They're like,
Yeah.
how'd you start out? I'm like, well, I don't. You really can't pinpoint when it got popular. You can't really pinpoint it,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you just
Yeah.
remember, like, it just blew up out of nowhere. And you're like, okay. And
yeah.
yeah,
And
it
you
was
just
really
arrive with
weird.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of it has to do with being on DeviantArt at a certain time, too. You know?
Yep.
Because that's when the front page was happening. You know, like... J. Scott Campbell was posting all the time.
Yep.
You know, Zemotion, always posting pictures. Super inspirational time. I know Elodia was posting at the same time too.
I love Elodia.
Yeah, she's awesome. You should have her on the show.
Yes, I should.
You should have her. Yes. I mean,
I'll
you just have
message
to
her
get the
about it.
time.
Yeah.
I
think it's okay over there, right? Like she's in Philippines, right?
Yeah, she's in the Philippines. I don't know the big time difference.
Computer, what's the time in Philippines?
Sorry,
What?
I don't speak Philippine yet.
No, I didn't time.
Oh my god!
Computer, what is the time in Philippines right now?
She doesn't understand.
It's 10:25 a.m.
Okay, that's not bad. It's 20,
Oh!
10:25, so it's 10 a.m. for them.
Okay, then yeah, she makes everything work. She's a workaholic.
Yeah, so it's morning
will-
time. It'd be like a good
You should ask
daytime
her
show.
to do it because I would totally watch.
Yeah, I'll
I
let
miss
her
a
know.
lot.
She and her sister, they're all just very creative and they do so many different things.
Oh no, they're prolific too.
Yeah.
They're like Stanley.
Yeah.
I feel like for some reason.
And anything they pick up, it's like, oh, I can also play the piano, not a problem. Oh, I can draw. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I can dance too.
draw
Like,
too. I know. And then like, when do you sleep? They don't sleep. They probably.
Yeah.
I asked Elodia before. I was like, "Do you sleep?" She's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "What?" She looks so confused. She's like, "Yeah, I do a little bit, 3 hours."
so think about it. It's like, oh, I guess that's the thing that I do. It's kind of like a hobby.
Yeah, it's really
Do you
amazing.
sleep?
But I really find it like super inspirational when people like, you know, but I do worry about friends who don't sleep that much as well as they worry about me too because I sleep like sometimes 5 hours, 4 hours a day.
I have a completely horrible sleeping schedule right now.
I actually noticed because you're like, I didn't sleep yet. And I'm like, what? And it's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens. Like, for me,
What are you doing?
it's crazy. So
What are you doing?
when I have conventions days, it's actually more normal because I used to go to conventions every other week.
Okay.
So I have to be normal because during convention day, I have to wake up at least by noon, you know?
Okay.
Because the event's going on, I have to go to the
Right.
event. So every other weekend, I will fix my sleeping schedule. And even when I don't have conventions, I still have to do things. So it's more like, at worst case scenario, I'll do nocturnal, which is like I do stuff nighttime and then sleep 8 hours. But now it's worse. It can be worse. Yeah, I didn't know.
See, the thing is, this is really interesting, this whole conversation, because you're an extrovert and I'm an introvert. So
Yeah.
your sleep schedule is like mine. And this is
it's-
normal.
My sleep schedule now is really messed up. It's like it'll be one day normal, second day half normal, and then third day not normal at all, and then fourth day not sleeping, and then fifth day back to normal.
That's my life.
And it kind of, yeah.
Because I don't go really out that much. So this is really interesting. I don't really talk to too many extroverts actually, because I don't have many extrovert friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah.
You met
Most of my
friends.
friends
They
are
don't-
introverts. Is because they're
You
in
met
the.
them. They're all introverts.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as an extrovert, I just collect them. So I adopt you. It's like, here, come with me. They're like,
No,
oh,
because I
okay.
remember talking to you sometimes. You're like, Linda, you want to come, or you want to come and like hang out and stuff. I'm like, do what? And I'm like, go outside for what? I'm like, well, what? We can't do stuff at home. So that's me, you know. So
No, yeah.
yeah.
So right now I'm just stuck inside, like, haha, try not to go
I'm
crazy.
thriving right now. Like I'm fine. I'm
Oh
like-
yeah, I have a lot of friends like this is great. I can get things done. I have no pressure to go outside.
Yeah.
Like,
No one's
and
calling me to go out, and I'm like,
I
I love
know.
going out sometimes. Maybe once a month. Maybe
No.
once every 3 months. I
For
don't
me,
know.
it's like convention every other weekend, and on top of that is
No, you're
like
never home.
going seeing people. Yeah, I'm never home. I'm like the best housemate. Yeah.
But you're also donating your rent money.
Yeah, I
as
pay
well.
the most rent in this house, and I'm never here. So
That's
it's
what I was
great.
thinking. Like, you probably just throw money at
Yep.
your house because you're never
Oh, my
there.
old place. I used to live in a downtown loft in LA. Downtown
You told
LA.
me this, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I was paying so much rent for not being there. Such an expensive like
No,
storage
it
unit.
doesn't make sense. It's California. You better
Yeah.
use the area that you're.
It was very nice though. I enjoyed it. So I'm glad I did it, but I don't need it anymore.
But you have introvert roommates, right? So it kind of
Yes.
feels like you're living alone anyway.
Oh, pretty much, and it's kind of sucked too. They all just like stuck in their own room, close to the door. I'm like,
Whoa!
hey, hi. I feel like Anna, just like outside the doorknob, saying, "You want to come by and play?" Like,
What? No, because like my other roommates were extroverts, all of them.
mm-hmm.
So every week they have a party.
Mm.
So my other roommates, a couple years ago, and
Mhm.
they'll have like dinner and they'll cook dinner together, and I would come out of my room and be like,
Mhm.
"Hey guys," and I'll contribute sometimes.
And that's how I get my housemate too. Food. I was like, hey, I'm gonna cook things when I come and get some food.
Oh!
Like, oh, food. Yeah.
That's what you
Mhm.
do. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they can smell. It's like they're like, there's
See,
something.
we'll
Then
come
they'll
out for
outside.
food, okay?
Yeah.
We like food, but then other than that, I don't think we need anything else.
Yeah.
We'll use the restroom, that kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And so yeah, they are. Yep, I'm just kind of stuck inside, making sure that not go too crazy for a while.
Yeah. I mean, like I've never been happier, to be honest with you.
Because there's no social
All the
pressure.
games are out. Like all the games
Yeah.
are out. I'm super stoked, and like no one's calling me to party, and because I don't really like to. I party, but
Mhm. Oh yeah,
but it has to be like when I'm done with all my work, because I
Mhm.
can't just run away
you
from
have to
my problems.
prep for it. You know.
Yes, I prep the hell out
Yeah.
of myself and make
Like
sure
to
I have-
socialize. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and then-
don't. I'm like anytime like, hey Martin, you want to come outside? Okay. I'll be there in 50 minutes.
I know, I texted you before, right
Yeah.
before this happened, the quarantine
Mm.
happened, and I hit up
Mhm.
you and Kenson, but then you were already at another party or something. So, and
That-
it was
that
one of
sounds
the
like
rare
me.
moments,
Yep. Mhm.
yeah, that I called. So
Yeah. So I figured out that it's ironic because like staying at home should be more relaxed and resting.
yes,
But I've learned that because you see me very energetic at conventions, apparently I recharge by seeing people. So now I'm actually very low energy because
so you're
I'm
more,
not seeing people. So I get tired very easily.
So you're not jumping around anymore.
I am not. Yeah, I can't. You know,
This,
like I'm trying to
this
work
is
out. to
weird,
boost it up.
okay?
Yeah, it's so
Martin-
strange.
not jumping around.
Yeah, like I'm just
That's very odd.
like sad and sleeping in my bed.
See,
all
that
the
I've never
time.
seen before. So
Ugh.
that
Dude,
is very
yesterday,
bad. Then that's very
I
bad.
told Jessica this morning about this too, but
Mhm.
it's not very depressing. But yesterday, I woke up at 1 p.m. But
Okay.
then I was still tired, and then I'm just like, ugh, not feeling it. So I went back to sleep, so then I can oversleep. If I oversleep, I dreams. I will have more dream. I'll be dreaming,
Okay.
and then I was dreaming I get to see friends, so I hang out with friends in my dream.
That's really sad.
So it was
That's
good time.
really sad, Martin. That's actually really depressing.
It's the most realistic way to hang out with friends.
That's really sad, dude. I actually feel bad for you. Like, that's not good.
And like I have some inside jokes now with Johnny Junkers, but then but that's just in my dream. It's not real him.
Okay.
So he won't get it if I ever tell him in real life.
I have nightmares every night, so I kind of am
Mhm.
excited to wake up every day. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's really bad.
What kind of
Anyway.
nightmare do you have? It's like
I
scary
have
stuff.
people trying to kill me, kind of.
Ugh.
I'm running away. I'm always
Hmm.
running away from people trying to murder me. But I do have full control in my dreams, so it's
Okay,
really
so-
weird. When
Just
I
like
was
lucid dreams.
yeah, I have like really I
But
control
you're not
everything.
aware that you're in a dream?
I'm aware I'm in a dream.
Can't you not force yourself to wake up?
I can wake up, yes, but the thing is,
Oh, what?
sometimes I like them
Okay,
because
okay.
they're intriguing to me. It's really
Okay.
weird. So I have nightmares that I like to figure out. So I want
those are
them
lucid
to kill
dreams,
me.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, you know, and I'm like, I want
Yeah.
to figure out how to leave the maze if they're trying
Mhm.
to. It's really
You can train your like you don't have to because you already got it, but people have to train themselves to do that.
yeah. I trained myself to do that when I was younger.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
When I was in 4th grade, I was like, I'm tired of getting chased, or I'm tired of not flying away from a certain thing. So now, if something's really bad, something really bad happening to me in a nightmare, I'll start flying or leaving the area and controlling it. It's really
Wow.
weird. Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
I
There's
try
only a
to
few
control
times
everything
I realized in a
like
dream.
in my life. So I'm like, control my dreams too.
My
So-
nightmares are different. My nightmare is that when I like it's real life. It's not like scary stuff. It's real life. And it's more
Oh.
like I can't really control my emotion as much. Because I'm never angry. You never see me angry in real life.
Mhm.
Like that's just not
Okay.
me. So like for example, I'm like really mad about something. That would be how my nightmares are.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
My nightmares are because I watch a lot of like, you know,
Horror stuff.
for forensic files and things like
Mhm.
that. I like murder mystery, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that's why. But that's
Yep.
crazy.
And then you watch them before going to sleep.
all the time. Yeah. It's like, it doesn't really scare me in person. That's why I like horror games. They don't
Uh-huh.
scare me. They're kind of like, eh.
You've been playing what Final Fantasy a lot
I
recently,
played
right?
Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, and then I play every. I don't think people realize how much I game until I started streaming, and they're like, "Oh snap! Like what the hell?" Because when I
Yeah.
first started streaming, I would stream like 12 hours of Monster
Mhm.
Hunter, and they're like,
You
every
love
day.
Monster Hunter.
Oh, I love Monster Hunter.
You love it. Like every time I realize when we're talking with friends, and if you find one person that do play Monster Hunter, you're like, hey, want to play with me? Hey, let's play. Yeah.
It's true because I know. I know I asked them. I'm like, hey, do you want to play?
Every time, yeah.
But the thing is, I took a break because I got to 1,200 hours and I was like, I need to go outside. You know, it's so
It's one of
fun.
those games where everyone's like, yeah, I'll play, but then they never do with you.
Yeah,
But so
they
you-
don't. Yeah,
so
they
you keep
don't.
finding like, come on, are you gonna play? Are you actually gonna play? Because I play. Come on.
And they never hit me up to play. They're just like they say yes, and I'm excited, and I go
Uh-huh.
home and no one's playing. But now it's the opposite where people are like, hey, when are you gonna get on? And I'm like, oh, I have other games to play, but I'm going back to Monster Hunter this week. So yeah, I'm
Do
excited.
they have like weekly or monthly like
Oh,
mission and raid kind of
yes, they
stuff?
update everything. It's kind of like I don't play League. I know you
Mhm.
do,
Mhm.
and they always have things that are new, right?
Yeah, mhm.
Because they
Yep,
have-
all the time.
They also
update
have
every Tuesday.
so much money too.
Oh, they have like what
So-
7 games coming out now? Yeah.
They just swim in money, I'm sure.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
But like the games I play are usually console games, so it's actually really surprising to me that Monster Hunter actually has updates all the time. that we
Yeah,
don't
because
have
that
to pay
costs
for.
money.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have to pay for them. So
mean,
it's
the whole-
like it's amazing.
It's interesting how the gaming industry changed a lot the business model.
Yes,
Because
100%.
10 years ago, if you tell companies that they will have to keep spending time and energy and efforts and resources into a game after it's out, they'll be like,
Right.
you're crazy. Or if you
Right.
tell them like, you're going to make a game and it's going to be completely free. Like for Riot, all their games are completely free.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
how is that a business model? Yet they're like one of the biggest gaming company out
well, they
there
get
in the
them
world.
hooked and they know how. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm a sucker. I fully admit I'm a sucker for obviously. Like this
Mhm.
is, if I like Dragon Quest, I'm gonna buy it. If I like Final Fantasy, I'm gonna buy it. If like Capcom, Morgan,
Yep.
like that's a
Mhm.
gift actually from my friend Carrie. But just like anything,
But you would,
that
yeah.
they-
hmm
I have no control. That is a problem of mine. I have control over my life and my
Uh-huh.
relationships, but not buying.
You love
Shopping
buying
is the
things.
problem. Yes, buying toys. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, last time I ran into you randomly, not like on purpose, it was
Mhm.
actually you shopping.
Where was I? At
We're
the mall?
in the mall, yeah.
Oh yeah. I was buying stuff for
Yeah.
I think a cosplay. Yeah, I was.
I was
buying
just
something for
surprised that to
cosplay.
run into you, but also like you're like all camera ready as well.
Okay. Well, anyway, a lot of people ask me this all the time. I grew up with a mother that was
Mm-hmm.
very like, Linda, you have to look a certain way to get a certain response. Like
Mhm.
you have, my mom really is.
Presentable.
Oh, she looks perfect. My mom is always ready, photo ready, and she ingrained in me to always look a certain way. I don't know, like it has nothing to do with like ego or like how I see myself, but
Mhm.
as long as I present myself in a way that's like put together,
hmm
I feel more
I think it's
confident, I guess.
presentable, right? It's
Yes,
more like-
presentable for sure.
because sometimes it's not just about you. I was thinking about that today too, and it's
Mhm.
not just a way about yourself. It's also respecting the people that you see as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that my mom instilled that in
Mhm.
me very young. So it's very natural for me to just get fully ready. clothing wise, makeup, hair, everything.
It's kind of like a hospitality thing, but like in person kind of thing, where like
yes.
I am ready to meet you, like I am like ready to be prepared in case
Right. And I learned also how to get ready in like 15 minutes. Like I'm really fast at getting ready. I can probably get ready in like 10 minutes.
I can do makeup on people, but I can't do makeup on myself.
What?
Because if I
you
don't
can
make
what?
I don't. Sometimes if I do photo shoots and I don't have a makeup artist on on set, then I have to do the makeup. It's not that hard. It's just Photoshop in real life.
Oh.
It's basically the same ideology. It's just this real life material.
I don't know. Photoshop. Like it's complicated for me because like I think it's actually harder to do.
Definitely a bit harder because you can't really do erase tool. Like you have to think the process a little bit different. You have to think the layer process a bit more ahead of time.
Can I ask you a question about your work? It might be a little bit personal, but
no, go ahead.
Okay, I know that editing is a major thing. Everyone has to edit.
Yep.
So I have this question for every photographer. Is it really freaking annoying when people tell you how to edit a picture?
Like, what do you mean when people tell me?
Like if they don't like how they look, and that's a personal thing they have of themselves. Everyone has insecurities. I sure as hell have a ton that I deal with every day, but it's not like it's, killing me or anything. I'm also older, so I care less now. So about like, okay, I'm just going to look like this. I'm not going to be any taller. So you can't make me taller in pictures. But, the thing is like, have you ever... not have you ever, but do you dislike when people keep on asking you? I'm sure your photography, they love it already, but they keep on asking you to edit. How do you feel about that?
So
what do you tell them? Like, I want to know because my friends do that too.
So that's how I can differentiate between work and me liking photography as kind of like a hobby kind of thing.
I see.
If I get paid to do it, you're the boss. You can tell me whatever you want, and I'll make it happen. It's kind of like... I
see.
It's yours, it's fine. And I will most likely not post it if I don't like it. So it's like, you can have it, do whatever you want, especially with lots of content these days are behind paywalls. So most people won't even see it anyway.
Oh.
So it's whatever. And if people look at my profile, they can see I have very different styles and variety of styles too.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my work, let's say it's a free shoot, especially if I ask the model to like, hey, can we shoot? That's in assumptions that when I ask someone, it's more like I'm paying you, but it's not paying you money. It's like, hey, I'm the one who initiated and asking, so it's my shoots, my project.
Okay.
Do you want to be involved? And then that kind of thing. Then
so
I can
it's
do whatever
kind of like
an
exchange.
Yeah. When someone asks me to shoot, where they needed the photos, I'll do whatever they need for them if they're friends. Like, yeah, it's your thing. Go ahead. I agree to do it. That is my own like decision that I have. Like, okay, I can create something for you.
Okay. I just always wanted to ask that.
Oh no. Here's the thing too. There's cases where I will ask models or cosplayer or it's actually, this is an interesting topic too. It's harder to shoot with influencer and cosplayer versus models.
Okay. Elaborate photos. Because I want to know this stuff because I never really get to ask photographers what they think.
Cosplayer and influencer they want a certain look, they have a certain ego, they have a certain style that they want to really preserve. Okay. So, and me also have a following is a problem to them now because that means my stuff will be seen as well. So let's say I take a picture of this influencer girl person A.
Okay.
If she doesn't like it, she will be unhappy about it because then lots of people see it and they will still, and more people comment and they get even more upset about it because that's not how they want.
No,
I actually had cosplayer message me before. Well, we weren't doing cosplay shoots. It was just a, fashion kind of shoot, I shot it and then, of course, I spent like 2 hours editing it. Of course, I like the photo. That's why I finished it and posted it.
Right.
But then she messaged me and say, hey, I didn't like it and can you take it down?
Right.
And I get it, but, and of course, I wouldn't think it's not great. If it's not great, I wouldn't post it. It represents my work as well. Right. So I get it, but they're friends and, I want to be respectful as well. So technically, I don't have to. But again, I'm trying to be respectful. So I took it down. But that doesn't mean that I won't shoot with them again in the future,
I see. So there is a communication open for you to take it down and things like that.
Yeah, that does happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's just a question.
I spend hours and hours on my photos, especially on my portraits. Like
Okay.
my normal portrait photos nowadays average around 2 to 3 hours one photo.
Well, it's one of your passions, not
Yeah.
editing, but just having a really good, finished look of your images. So
I've just made a post on Twitter, on Instagram story as well, but on Twitter, it's like I zoom into my photos to very close detail.
Okay.
And so most people see me as a photographer, and people not in the industry, they don't understand there's a difference between photographer and retoucher. I'm both. So I
understand what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Right?
I've been editing photos longer than I've been taking photos. I've been editing photos for over 20 years. Photography only over 15.
I noticed that, like, when I do talk to some of my professional photographer friends, they were like, "Oh, I'm going to send it to my editor," and I'm all, "What?"
Yep.
And they were doing like magazine covers, and I'm like,
Yep.
"Whoa, I didn't know that."
Yeah,
I don't think people know that.
In the high end industry, photography, the photographer and the editors are two different people.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
the
didn't know
retoucher.
that.
Yeah.
I really thought that they did it themselves, but it makes sense because.
And in the rare case that, like me, I am both. And the thing is, what's strange is that there was a thing CVS was trying to do. They were like, I understand the idea of it, but they were saying, starting from 21 or 20, I think they dropped the campaign, but like all of our products at our company has to be, or the store has to have no Photoshop on it, other than light adjustment.
Okay.
If they do have it, they need to have a sticker or sign that say it's been Photoshop.
I see.
So when I first heard about it, it's like, okay, it sounds like a great approach, but I know it won't work. Because the problem is that humans tend to be nicer and want to buy items that are with prettier people. That is something that ingrained in our heads. Whatever the majority of people find
or something they connect
attractive.
to, right?
Yep, exactly. So then you're gonna have a problem if they don't want to have Photoshop. You're actually gonna take out a lot of jobs of retoucher, and you're gonna take out a lot of jobs of models who are not as pretty. Meaning it's actually worse. That means only really pretty model will be higher because.
But then there's different. Okay, so when you say pretty, it's really different. The majority.
It's what we'll buy. Is people would buy. And majority of people have a certain like a
aesthetic or look.
Traditionally beauty. That's how they see
I see. Right.
Yeah, and
which I don't understand still.
Very
maybe
different
because
culture and country. Yeah.
Right. But I think that it really depends because especially in cosplay, everyone looks different. Well, maybe I don't know as many cosplayers as you do. Like they pop up like everybody's a cosplayer now, and I think it's awesome. But I think that in general, like everyone looks different. So the ideal of pretty is like depends on what you think. But you're talking about like professional like work, right? Catalog work or something.
Yeah, there's a problem I have a problem with cosplay is that because.
Well, doesn't everyone? Everybody has a problem with cosplay. Let's be real here. Everybody has a problem.
Everyone has a problem.
Everybody has a problem. Like that's why I learned, okay? Because there's too much to talk about. But then cosplay is very interesting.
My main issue is that like we started in cosplay where it's not an industry, it's something we do for passion. And that's how I first met you too. You were doing Lolita cosplay.
I did. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I just, I went to Japan. I got like a Lolita outfit and I was like, whatever. But I just like really dark things, So,
yeah, you were like, but you were wearing pink that day though. That one outfit.
Oh,
and that was like, that was like 10 years ago.
Oh my, 11 or something.
Yeah, it's been a
very long time ago. Okay.
And I didn't know who you were too. It was my friend who introduced me. It was like, oh yeah, this is Vampy Linda. I was like, cool. I don't know who you were, but like, I actually took a picture of your shoes. I remember because those shoes were very pretty.
Oh, thank you. I don't know where they are now, but
but that was how I first met you. And you were really bubbly already. I was like, oh,
I'm really hyper. Cool. Like I think that people don't realize like I'm an indoor person, but I'm very like loud and crazy, but only with my friends or. Closed, I don't know, like a room.
Yeah, environment. Yeah.
Closed environment, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that was great. But what were we talking about?
We're talking about
cosplay.
Yeah,
Cosplay,
cosplay.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, the problem with cosplay now that has turned into an industry is that
I think it's great though. It's awesome.
great, but it's so young industry, so we don't know how to do things yet, you know?
But you also manage.
Yeah.
You manage, and I semi do the same, but not the same as you.
Yeah.
I kind of like locate the right people to work with. But I think that in general, cosplay has changed a lot. I mean, it's crazy now, and I love it. But I also think that people are getting huge misconceptions about like what cosplay really is, because there's so many different ways.
Not been?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is it cosplay anymore? And I don't think a lot of people understand that people are multifaceted. They don't just like one thing. Cosplayers,
but people get confused if you don't do one thing, you know.
It gets really annoying.
Because we do multiple things, and whenever I do anything that's not photography, they're like, what is this? Or like, it's even in photography alone, they get confused when I don't do cosplay photos. Like if I post products or landscape or surreal, they're like,
it doesn't get as much traction.
It does not.
Or that kind of... The thing is, I think early on for me, I also started way later. I was not young, definitely when I first started cosplay. So I already kind of like made my rounds with like work and people that I worked with that had a name already. So I was like, if I'm going to take this seriously, even though it's not an industry yet, I'm just going to like make a name for myself because I don't want my parents to know what I'm doing. Because I came from a professional background, so I don't want my mom to know I make costumes and wear them.
Dress up.
Yeah, and she hates them. She'll throw it out, and she's the one who taught me how to sew, which is really funny. She taught me how to sew when I was 4. So I think that it's really different. Like, a lot of people, they always ask me, like, this was around 2000, I forgot, 2009? People, no, 2011. They'll be like, how do you become famous? And I was like, that's not the point, honey. Like, that is the far from what it is. Like, do you like making things, number one? Do you like art, creation? Do you like working with other people? Do you like making something that has never been made before? And they'll be like, what? And I'm like,
fame is a byproduct. Like, we did it because like we really liked it, and we did it before it was even can be popular. You can't make money. You can't be popular back then.
No.
Oh, no, yeah.
Not at all.
It
would be kind of a joke and actually shunned upon if you were to do anything with it. I remember when I first started selling my first prints, I got so many people were angry. And I said, well, I'm working with an artist with this, and it's okay by the company. I think it's okay for me to do this. And
I remember even having a Facebook page was really frowned upon. Like,
they hated that.
You think you're so cool? You think you have, you want people to follow you? And now it's like a normal thing. Now it's so normal
now. Everyone, and I think it's a good thing because we have become an industry of like the internet,
Netizen.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we have to do everything online now, especially with quarantine. So
what's different is that I was talking to younger generation of cosplayers that are coming in now.
See.
Just to see what the scene is like and what it's like in school now.
I want to hear about this because I don't really talk to too many of the younger scene because I don't know anybody. Don't go outside.
I go outside all the time, so I'm curious because I want to know what it's like, and I want to know how this industry is moving forward.
Right.
And the kids who are people get into cosplay, a lot of them get in because they see people like us, and they're like, "Oh, I want to be like that. I want to be popular and famous and has a following,
or travel, or something silly." Like it's not silly, but I understand.
We make it look very fun, and that's part of our job. And sometimes they don't get it.
That's part of the job, but it's not always fun. Yeah,
and a lot of them is they're popular now in school are not just the jock or like the football kids or whatever. It's the people who have a social media following. Like big on TikTok or big on Instagram, which kind of changed the landscape a little bit too. So I'm not sure how is that like. Like people will go toward to someone who's like, oh wow, that girl is very popular on TikTok or internet or on Instagram. Then that is the popular kid in school now.
I understand what you're saying.
So I wonder if that's gonna change how bullying gonna happen too, because bullying is gonna happen regardless. Like people get picked on, but it's not gonna be nerdy kids anymore because nerdy kids are getting popular now.
100% nerdy kids are like popular now. Like I actually, so it's funny because like when you're in the cosplay scene for so long, you actually see people coming back to you with their kids.
Oh yeah.
You watch them have babies.
Oh
you
yeah.
Not watch them have babies. That's awkward. Anyway, you would not
you
watch
them come back every year, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so tall now. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? Like I would see them, and they're like, I want to be a streamer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me. I think it's actually refreshing because as a person like me, growing up in the 90s, seeing everything kind of like evolve in the 80s and 90s, and seeing it how Transformers is really cool again, and like Care Bears again, and He-Man and all that stuff. And comics are really in movies. So when I see people like doing this, because and I think that, one thing I have against the old school fans and the new school fans is that the old school fans are very angry. And I'm an old school fan. So, because I'm old too. So, like, I don't understand why they're angry, because they're putting millions of dollars into these things that we've always wanted to see in the big screen.
And it's finally happening. Yeah.
And it's finally happening. I know it's not going to be the same, but you can't expect everything to be the same.
I think they're angry because they feel like they have did their time in jail, kind of feel like. It's like, not popular in jail.
But that's also
and
entitlement too, and I have
it's such an entitlement thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They feel like everyone else should have to go through that, but that should not be the case. That's
it shouldn't be, because we should be
this.
happy that more people are excited about the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't just say that to be fair. I actually don't understand the anger, because, I think that we're very spoiled now, to be honest with you. Like being a nerd. I do fully call myself a nerd. I am. I grew up one. We didn't have that term, weeb or whatever, but I know for sure when I was growing up in Oklahoma, having all my He-Man figures or Transformer figures, I was a freaking nerd to everyone.
And it was so not cool.
No, it was not cool at all. I actually had to make up that I wasn't a nerd to a guy that I liked in 5th grade. Like he was like, oh, what do you like to do? And I was like, oh, I like to hang out with my friends and dance and stuff. But really, all I did was every Tuesday, I went to the comic book shop. I didn't say that because that's not feminine. That's not attractive back then. So
and now that's what everybody wants, like e-girl or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a new thing for me. Then again, I don't think people really understand. Like everything's very new to me. The e-girl thing. Like someone called me an e-girl, and I was like, I guess.
Then you have to stop for a second. It's like, am I one? I mean, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's like in your head, it's like, is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? Like, I don't even know. Yeah.
No, I'm like, but I fully understand what it means, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't.
But we don't know. It's like, okay, is this like something makes sense for me to associate with? Like, it's just kind of strange.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just to even talk about like what we talked about before, as an old school person in this scene, I fully accept all the new stuff coming out. I love it. It makes me feel excited to be in this scene when it's evolving, because a lot of people say, back in the day, I was the biggest thing. I've heard that before. I hate that. I'm like, I remember 13 years ago, you were cosplaying. Yeah, you were the biggest thing, but no one freaking cares anymore. Nope. Like, stop talking. And the ego thing. I have a huge problem with egos because I have none. I have probably the tiniest ego. Like, I don't even think of I'm a realist. Let's be real here.
I'm very real too. Yeah.
Like, the thing is, for me, it's all about, why am I doing this? Do I like it? Am I fulfilled every day? And it's all about how I feel. It has nothing to do with other people. And that's why.
And you're very real too. Like, every time I talk to you and in public, in like private, whatever, like things that you don't like, you don't agree, you'll say, oh yeah, no, I don't like that. Like, you would just say it, and it's amazing. And I think it takes us time and like experience to able to actually say that now. Like,
and I think that it's important for people, especially in cosplay now, or just any kind of fandom, please do things. I mean, this could be for anyone. Please do things that you really, really love, because at the end of the day, it's your time, it's your money, it's your passion, hopefully, and it's the one thing that will make you either angry, sad, or unfulfilled or happy at the end of the day, right? And because, if you waste time on things you don't love, why?
And we will look back someday, and we're old enough to know that when we look back, it's like, oh, I have done all this stuff and it was for me, you know, it wasn't for someone
For
else.
you. Yeah.
And
I think
that is a good feeling to be like, oh,
It
I've
is.
done all this, you know, and it's something that I can show, not even showing to others, but show to myself to like, oh,
Yes.
this is what I've done. And because I enjoyed it at a certain
Yes,
point
and
in time,
I
I
think
really liked it.
that's one thing that I really like pushing to people, because I think a lot of people think, okay, when you started, you did popular things. I'm like, honey, darling, this anime came out really when I was tiny. You weren't born yet. I don't think it's popular, you know, but do things that you love, because when you lay down in your bed, and we've all been here, been in this place, you haven't slept for 30 hours sometimes, you overworked, you're tired. But at the end of the day, you're laying down finally in your bed, you can say, I did something I liked. And that
And we
is,
couldn't, like back in the days, we can't stream anime. Like we have to
No.
go either get VHS or something. It's not easy.
yeah, Suncoast. You had to go to Suncoast, and
Yeah.
it's a $40 cassette tape
Mhm.
of Ranma. And you're
Mhm.
like, I don't know if I can afford this. My mom wouldn't
Yep.
buy it for me.
That's why you join anime club or whatever, and they
Yeah,
will
we
also chip in
trade
and get something. Yeah, you trade it, and then you just
We
all watch it
trade,
during
yeah.
lunch. You know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I miss those days, but I don't, because I remember, you know, for like, I had to go get, you know, I'm going to sound like a super old lady now, money orders. And you send it with the stamp, and you hope that they got your letter with the money in it, because your
Yep.
money's not going to come back.
Yep.
So
Hopefully, and
all
then
of
they'll
my-
send you something.
Yeah, like Game Pro magazine and all that stuff, and you're hoping that they got your money order, you know?
And it's lots of
It-
money for kids. You know.
It's a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would save, oh gosh, I would save like 25 cents all the time. Instead of going to get ice cream, I would go to the comic book shop on Tuesday on White Road in San Jose. White Road and was it White? I know where the hell I went, because I walked there every week, and I would save 98 cents, because that's how much comics were at the time I was growing up, and I would, you know, pay my 98 cents and get my X-Men, you know, and be like, yeah, I got it, and I would walk home. So I could rant on about the old school stuff all day, but
You know, to go one step deeper too, I think it's not just anime. For me specifically, it's also being Asian. Like growing up being Asian is not cool at all. I mean, it's still not cool. I was talking to Jeannie about this.
Say that
Yeah,
again.
in America, growing up as an Asian person.
Oh,
you know,
we're gonna
especially
go
guy.
there. Okay.
Like, no, 'cause
I
was
totally
talking to
understand.
Jimmy
No, but you're
about this
right.
too. Like,
No,
it was not cool at all.
no.
And now it's like, it's not cool, but it's better, especially with the help of K-pop. And here's like, I'm not gonna be mad when someone who's starting to like Asian related things now, because like, no, please. Like,
Are you
I mean,
saying this
nerd
because you're
culture.
an Asian guy and, you know, BTS is popular now or something?
Like, the people get confused. They don't understand the difference between different Asian. I'll just take it. I'm like, it's cool. You know what? You don't know the difference between Japanese, Vietnamese, Korean, whatever, Japanese, like everyone. I'm like,
I totally
that's fine.
understand. I grew up in Oklahoma, and I, you know, was one of the only Asian people there in my school. So it was not popular at all.
So same for the nerd thing. It's like it wasn't cool, and now people like it. I wouldn't be like, oh, you never know how horrible it is. You should have to suffer as well. No, like,
that's
please like what we like, so then we can share what we love to you guys.
100%.
As well, you know?
And I think that, you know, being able, so the funny thing that you brought that up, because it's funny, because my main objective, this is really, I think a lot of people will be stunned at this, because my main objective of actually having an online presence was not because I wanted to make a name for myself. I didn't give a crap. I told my ex this, and I told my friends this. I was anti-internet. I had a MySpace where I did not show anything, and I didn't show myself, and I didn't do anything until my friend was like, you know, I listen to metal. I love metal music. And a lot of people say, you're Asian, you listen to metal? And I said, I'm an Asian girl that listens to metal. I can't believe that. I thought Asians don't listen to. Can you believe how ignorant some people talk? That's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push metal, robots, and being what did I push when I first started? A gamer, metal, and robots all day. And you saw me. I did it nonstop for years.
Yeah.
And now people know me as that, because the reason why is because I was a very angry kid, because a lot of men did not realize women also like robots, metal, and could be Asian.
Yep.
You know, and
Probably,
maybe speak English properly.
How
you know,
dare
I don't
you?
know. You like, you should. I get this all the time. You should be a newscaster. I'm like, I was born here. Like it's so racist and ignorant. It's just so like, are you serious? And that's the reason why I want to be online.
anywhere more inland in America, it's still very much like that.
Oh, I grew up in Oklahoma. They're just
exactly.
Like, why do you speak English? I'm like, I was born here.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't born here, it doesn't matter. It's just like it's such a horrible thing to say to someone, you know?
Yeah.
It really psychologically messes you up. So.
I was at a party at CES, you know, one of those rich white old CEO party, because they're all rich white old CEO guys, like apparently. So not that I'm trying to say that it should be, but like that's how it was. Exactly, it was. It was exactly how it was.
Okay.
It wasn't all of them. I was the only Asian there, I think. And then almost at certain points, everyone in the room has passed me and asked me, so where are you from? And I never know what answer am I supposed to give them. Like, Los Angeles? Oh, I'm from SF before this. Oh, I went to school in UC Davis. Until a certain point, they're like, okay, I know what you're asking. Like, do I tell them like, oh, I'm from Hong Kong, you know? Yeah,
but the thing is that I don't think you can't blame them either. They don't know.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with them.
Not actually, you, but like we can't blame them either.
I have no problem with people being curious and want to learn about it. In fact, I want them to more learn about it and accept, what I have, where I come from, my culture, all kind of stuff. It's only weird when they find it like they can't accept you, be a certain thing, but also the other thing at the same time.
Right.
You know? Especially me doing, what I am in my culture, also as a content creator, And
I think that, being on Twitter, I'm very active on Twitter. I love Twitter. Not because it's a platform to retweet and get known, or I don't care. But the thing is, I really like Twitter because I see how people really feel about certain subjects, especially race. There's a huge issue with cosplay and race. Especially. And I noticed that, being a weeb is, yes, very cool. It's very trendy to kind of do this now. And, and to me, that did in the beginning taught me a lot because I grew up being Asian and it was not cool.
Yeah, it was not cool.
It was
so not cool.
It was not cool. Like you're just an Asian chick and then your crush likes a girl that has blonde hair and blue eyes. And you're like, oh, I will never be the picturesque woman that you want because I'm Asian. Do you know what I'm saying?
Even my favorite anime growing up is Dragon Ball Z. And for Goku to become stronger, he turned blonde and get blue eyes.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I guess I'll never become like that.
We didn't have people to look up to. We had Jackie Chan, but then that's kung fu. Like, can we have a person that's normal?
Yeah. He has to use that in order to get into Hollywood, to get even for now, we're still not completely there yet with Donnie Yen. He still has to play a kung fu character in Star Wars. I
know, and he
was supposed to be even more kung fu-y, but he's able to talk to
even
JJ.
in comic books. Every chick has colored hair with is a ninja.
Yep.
I love it. Great, I love ninjas, but can we?
But every
have,
Asian chick has one strip of purple hair or something.
Why do we have to have the colored hair, the edgy look? I understand that's what we look like sometimes because I know I love thick eyeliner myself. But can we have a relatable character?
In Lego, in the Lego movie, in Big Hero 6, if you're Asian, you have the one strip of purple hair or something.
And a lot of other races, they don't understand. They think we're complaining, but they don't understand. We don't understand how it is to walk in their shoes. I'm not going to. They shouldn't pretend like they know how we feel because now it's so cool to. I'm not hating, but it's so cool to be looking more Asian with their makeup and face taping and stuff. And I'm like, are you taunting me? Because maybe before you didn't think it was cool back then. You made fun
What
of
about people that pick up, and because Kenson, my housemate, our friends, talk about this a lot.
Okay.
How you feel about people picking up an Asian sounding name, especially Japanese, Okay.
I have a lot to say about that. Okay, I was born a Linda. Okay, so I wasn't typical Vietnamese name like Nga or Ngoc or something. One of those, But now it's so trendy to be a certain thing now. Especially I've noticed Asian. I don't know why you want to be a different. Accept who you are. Let's just be ourselves. But when they're trying to be a different race, that's weird to me because it's you don't have to. You can just like something. You can like K-pop. You can like C-pop. Chinese pop, right? You can like any kind of pop, but you don't have to become that character or try to sound like you're half because it's trendy.
Oh, that happens a lot. Yeah.
Like you're not half. Let's just be real here. You're like Asian or you're white or you're
And it's weird
Latina.
when you try to be something that is not
it
traditionally
makes no sense.
popular. Too.
No, it's like, why? It's like I get so livid about these things.
There's
You talk
lots of
about
Yoko I have met.
Huh?
A lot of
Yoko?
people I've met call Yoko, and like your name is not Yoko. It's like I know
It's-
for sure.
And I think that it's like, I don't think people understand it. It is a slap in the face to us sometimes because I remember maybe 10 years ago, you're making jokes about our race. And now you're like, Chew or something with the Chew
Want
at
to
the
be.
end.
Yeah, you want to be.
Like you're not really you, It's like, it's very weird, It's not.
It is
it's
very
ingenuous.
strange.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Like I don't mind them want to do more stuff that involve my race or my culture as long as they don't insult it. If they genuinely learn about it, incorporate into life. Sure, why not? I'm all for it.
And I think that it's great that people are into all these things that we grew up with. Being Asian. Because when I found out about manga in Vietnam, I went to Vietnam. And then, of course, when I was younger, we had manga. I couldn't afford it. But I got a ton of manga when I went to Asia. And, my friends in America, they'll be like, what is this? Like, what is this? And I'm just like, oh, it's like
comic.
Like the same thing as comic, but not really. But,
Yeah.
And then back then, at least they were more curious. But now they're kind of like, I don't think people understand that it's insulting to pretend.
It's weird they use it to be for coolness.
Yeah, it's really
It's really strange. And I'm like, man, I've been berated like my whole life because of this, and now it's you use it for you to become popular, which is like, this is so.
It's
backward.
very hard to not be angry about it, but I've grown accustomed to understanding the times have changed. Because I used to be very angry, like maybe like 10 years ago or before, all this stuff. My friends would be like, oh yeah, like I do really like when people are genuinely into something and they're curious, genuinely curious. But if you're trying to manipulate your look to look more like, I think in a way, cosplay's that. But then when they're doing it every day and like kind of taunting us.
I think it's just more, it's
I don't know how to
backward,
say
and I'm
it.
just like,
I
think it's part of the process for us to be all more become.
And this is not
equal.
talking about cosplay at all. It's just being ourselves.
But I'm just saying, like, I think this is the process of for anything to become popular or not popular, to be normalized.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a little pendulum thing, right?
Right.
At first, it'd be like too extreme where people were against it, they're racist against it. But then it's like, no, this has to be cool. So then we bring it all the way to this side. And I think that's the same with any movement, right? Same with LGBT movements, same for the race, same for, nerd culture, is that it was so uncool that we have to overemphasize it to make it very cool, which is kind of strange in a way. But then eventually we'll bring it back to like, no, you're cool, you're not. This doesn't make you... So this is a funny line that I saw the other day. And when I say the other day, it could be like a few weeks ago or a few months ago, even a few years. But it was like, people were saying that you can't play the was bully or pick on in high school at the conventions because everyone go to convention has been picked on. That's the reason why we're here, Now it's more popular, but let's say 5 years ago where it's still not cool to go to convention, and if you go to conventions and acting like, oh no, I get picked on all the time when I was younger, please pity me. And you're like, no, we all got picked on. Like, doesn't make you any special.
Every single person got picked on back then.
Why do you think we're here?
No, like, I think it's great now. People are backing each other up all the time on the internet and getting called out. I don't think it's okay to bully someone and cancel someone because of one thing that they say. That's kind of too much. I don't like that because everyone learns differently, at different times. But I think that in general, like, everyone was picked on back then. About what they liked, no matter what. But I think that, as long as we learn from it, that's important.
And that's a shame, That's liking something and have to be ashamed of it.
I was very ashamed growing up. My brother knew how much I struggled with it, and my family, because I always hated who I was because it sounds really messed up, but growing up, I really did not like that I was a certain way. You know, like I was super into, you know, now it's cool, vampires and vampire novels and, you know, really dark makeup and
Gothic
like
stuff.
gothic stuff, you know, but now it's like, it's cool, you know, it's trendy, but, you know, growing up 11 years old and no one wanting to be your friend at school, I'm not saying like pity me, but an Asian too, on top of that, and into comics on top of that. And then they see you at the mall buying toys. That is like, no guy is going to like you back then. I didn't even have a prom date. I didn't have homecoming. I didn't have any of that. Maybe I did. They kind of pitied me. Maybe I think the guy did, but I didn't have a prom date. I didn't have any of that because that wasn't
so
cool.
uncool. Yeah.
It was really uncool. And like,
and you have to hide
am I
about
mad?
it most of the time.
No, I'm not mad. I just feel like, you know, taunting someone about that, like, oh, you know, like, or just telling people like to pity them, that sucks because we had to live that. And I don't wish that upon anyone, you know, sucks.
Like sometimes I wonder if you can live a different lifetime just to see how it's like to be at that age again and being cool about
like, to
those
be
things.
honest with you, I really, you know, and I'm being very blunt about this, you know, all my life I wanted to be normal. And like what people say, what's normal anyway? Well, you don't understand. Normal is not being who I am sometimes because I thought it would be easier, you know? And like, especially growing up a woman into this stuff, you know, like I have two brothers. I shared toys with my brothers and, you know, like I was never very feminine. And I think that, you know, would I want to trade my life with a typically normal girl back then? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was tormented my whole life. So I feel like that's why I'm very compassionate now. You know, that's why I love people so easily, like even before I know them. And I give people chances all the time because of the fact that I understood how it felt to be shunned, you know?
It's strange because I remember back in school too, like because I was younger, I was a kid, you know, again, I was 11, 12, 11, around that age. Like, I am mad at those people who pick on me and also, you know, racist against me, you know, those kids in school, you know.
Yeah.
But if any day you ask me if I can switch spot with them, back in the days, I was like, yes. Like any day.
For sure. I would immediately.
Yeah.
You know?
And I remember how much I hated
fast.
America because of how bad it was, you know. I thought about coming to America, get my education, and get the F out instantly when I'm done.
At 20 years old, you know, a long time ago, I wanted to move because my mom, it was my first time going to Asia when I was 19. And my mom was like, do you love being here in Vietnam? And I said, Mom, I don't want to go back to America. I told my mom, I was like, please don't take me back. And she's like, why? And I was like, I can't stand it anymore. Because
but here's the problem. We're too American too.
We're too American for Asia.
Yep.
And the guys did not like me there either. So it's like,
yep.
I'm very lucky I don't have to worry about that now because, you know, of Jesse. But before, oh my goodness, like I was just...
I'm stuck in a weird spot. I am a 1.5 generation immigrant. So meaning I came to America in my teens years. So
I see.
From my culture, my language, everything, I'm half, you know.
Right.
I'm too Asian for American and too American for Asian.
So the thing is, I've never met many of you guys.
Oh, yes, rare. It's not,
You know, it's very rare because you are actually, you know, super implemented in the nerd culture, which is really cool and trendy now, right? Which is kind of weird. It's still weird for me to say. But like, it's, you know both. But I think that's what makes you special because I'm not Asian enough to people. And it pisses me off too. Because
it's a very lonely life though. You don't want this.
Yeah, it is a lonely. I understand part of it though, because you know when you want to make Asian friends, like as an American born, they don't want to be your friend because you're not Asian enough.
Well, it's just a thing too because they have the same. Again, it's very similar to nerd culture. They will feel like that you didn't go through the same hardship that you have to being isolated because they're being too Asian. So they feel like you don't understand their culture enough to be part of their group.
I mean, you know, going to weddings, like my family weddings, my cousins would make fun of me all day. Like, oh my gosh, you don't even know your culture. Da, da. I'm like, how do I know my culture when my parents have to work 20 hours a day? I have no one at home taking care of me except for TV, you know, and video games. You know what I mean? Back then, there was nothing except for us. We just had parents that worked all the time because they were here. They had to make a living.
I don't think I don't think my friends realized until I pointed it out to them is that in their friend circle, I'm most likely like a few, if not only, a friends in their friend circle that's from actually an immigrant from another country that speak a different language and read and write in that language. You have a lot of American-born Asian, American-born Chinese, ABC, and all of those. But for someone who like me, who still have an accent, who speak a different language and read and write in the different language, I was just watching Hong Kong news like 12 hours ago, and that's something I still do. So it's something that
that's an advantage though, because
hopefully, but it's still kind of weird. Again, too Asian to be American, too American to be Asian.
I see. Yeah. So, well, that's for me at least. Too American to be Asian. I get phone calls all the time from my family, like, Linda, you're not Asian enough. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm like, I am Asian. That's why
Ken sense a weird flip of me. He is American born, but he actually enjoyed the Asian culture. So he's growing up wanting to learn more about Asian Chinese culture.
Yes.
So it's a weird yin and yang kind of situation,
Right. I feel like I'm more Asian than a lot of my friends because of the things that I do in my tradition and morals. I'm very morally driven, like especially I think I scare my friends because I'm like a mom. I'm like, no, don't do that. Yeah. But I'm a little bit wilder in my photos because of the fact that I need an outlet to express myself. But generally, hanging out with me, I'm more like, strict. But I think that I'm like Kenson too. I taught myself.
He's
I went
in chat
to school.
right now.
Huh?
Actually, what? I just saw him. He's just responding in chat. He's watching this right now.
I
told him earlier too. I was like, hey, Kenson, you should watch the show because Linda's going to be on this episode. It'd be fun.
And I think that it's important, like for us to know our culture because my parents were never home. And my brother, sorry, Danny, she doesn't speak Vietnamese. And I didn't want to be that way. I wanted to learn how to speak. So I took my classes to learn how to read and
also
write
changed
Vietnamese.
the way you think because we think based on the language. So there's a lot of ideology and even mannerism. My cooks still change. No, my mannerism change a lot when I'm thinking and talking in Chinese. Like even how I treat
100%.
people with different like elders and that kind of thing is very different. I have to be much more respectful because that's just how
We're
I am
bowing
taught.
more. We're not shaking hands or anything. We're not looking in the eye. That's like
not
kind
taking
of
the last piece of the food.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And I think that as I grow older, I'm a lot more aware of like how special it is to be growing up the way we have, because we have instilled things about ourselves that we have to abide by with our parents and family.
Yeah,
can't be wild. We'll get
can't
slapped.
be too wild.
We'll get slapped.
But it's also coming from a weird sense. I enjoy it, but American might not. It's the type of discipline, like the way that I
strict,
how the kind of like I don't know, like it's also very similar to being an artist. Like we will never fully be satisfied. There's moments that you'll be like, oh, 100%. This is cool, but instantly you have to go back to like, okay, I need to be better and
but
work
the thing
hard
is,
on it.
The funny thing is, like, I like that you brought that up because a lot of people say, they always ask me during these kind of conversations, like, what is your most highest point? And I said, I don't think I've reached it yet.
You never do.
I'm never happy. I don't think people understand that. I'm never happy. And maybe it's the way we're taught to not accept, like, to be, it sounds sad, but, there's a lot of sadness in Asian culture. Like, we're just sad all the time. There's, like, the truth is we're never supposed to be happy. For our successes.
We shouldn't. Like being fully happy is such a strange idea.
That's why, like, I remember someone was making some gossip stuff about me. This is like 2009, and they're like, "This girl's cocky as hell," and I'm like, "How? When I have no ego? My mom rid me of my ego early on in my life."
Wait, I feel like back then, especially back then, if some people say bad thing about a weird rumors or idea, that means we did something right. It's kind of like if the Westboro Church picket your funeral, that means you did something right. That's how I see it.
I honestly think that it's also a miscommunication, because they don't know you.
It's also a thing that helped them justify it because we both, accidentally got some following because of, cosplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
because we just did stuff. Yeah.
And then
right.
people who didn't get it because, hard work or luck or whatever that made it didn't happen for them, they feel like it has to be justified, that they has to be a horrible person in order to then feel like, yeah, that's why they got that, because they're a horrible person. I'm not a horrible person. That's why I don't have that.
Because people
but that's how they think.
No, the people forget that, there is a lot of hard work. There is nights where we don't sleep. And I don't think, because we're supposed to make our job look fun.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's
I go to convention every other week. Of course, it's supposed to look really fun. Free travel, do all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like we're not having fun, but there are nights where I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. But you know what? We have obligations. We have like things like that. So I think that like as long as we are very open with our following, that, nothing is perfect. And this is definitely orchestrated every day. That majority of it's orchestrated, because I don't think people are very honest with their following.
And I explained to you, it's kind of like a movie too. It's like it's like fictional movie. They're not real, but they're still enjoyable content. That's what it's supposed to be. Right. Like there's days and nights that I don't want to do photos, I don't want to edit, I just want to play games or relax. But I can't, because I know I need to push this out so that people will see it. Right. I remember going to conventions back then. It doesn't happen anymore because cosplay photographer is kind of dead.
Is it dead?
The days for cosplay photographers are dead. It's ridiculous. Yeah, always, definitely.
I don't know any of that.
I made like a whole video about this too, but like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch it now.
It's over now. It's because
that's sad.
It's both because how people consume content and create content.
Okay.
They both kind of made it change.
I gotta watch that video because that sounds very interesting to me.
So I remember back then though, like let's say around 2010, I would have to, like 10 years ago, I would go to conventions. And once on Sunday nights, because you go to con from Friday to Sunday.
100%, yeah.
Sunday afternoon,
you lived near me back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go home instantly, let's say from Fanime. I would drive home instantly and start editing photos, as many as I can.
No, but don't you think that's an edit like that? Don't you think that's because you're a Bay Area guy?
Maybe, yeah.
No, but Bay Area people are like crazy.
They are, yeah. I mean, that's how Silicon Valley happens. Yeah.
No, I feel like, because there's nothing to do there in the Bay.
And things are so far apart. Yeah.
You just work. And people are like, how do you work? How's your work ethic so crazy? I'm like, I lived in the Bay Area. There's nothing to do.
And everyone else is doing it. So you have to do it too.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's so much cool stuff in LA that you can just go eat. You can hang out with people. You can go out. There's so many events.
Museum or whatever. There's always some
but there's nothing there in the Bay. Just make content. That's all.
And your friends feel so far apart,
Yeah. For sure.
Like
I miss the Bay Area though.
Distance-wise it's further, but time-wise it's the same because of
driving. Do you miss the Bay? Do you miss? You don't, huh?
There are things that I like, but the things that I don't feel like I'm fully belong here either, because like I'm not from here, from LA area. Like I don't have that circle yet.
I don't have a circle either.
I'm still so new. I'm like, I want to do things. I want to like go to check cool, like go to a museum that I haven't been to, like the board. I still haven't been there yet, or like go to Griffin Park to look at like
we have to keep on dreaming because it's quarantine.
Yeah, exactly. So well, technically, what they're gonna do? They can't come near me to arrest me. So, what if I break in?
No, but they can they've been giving tickets, right? Or is that fake?
That's
news.
Only if they catch me.
I'm so afraid of fake news now because I don't know, man. There's too much fake news out there.
Yeah, like they have to be 6 feet near me, so technically they can't talk to me.
Yeah, but I'm just terrified to go outside now. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay home.
Thinking about maybe tomorrow. No, because tomorrow I'm just doing a show. So maybe on Friday, I might drive around downtown with my long selfie stick with a 360 camera. Let's see.
Dude, so you've been making these crazy videos?
Yeah. So
how
it's
the
with
hell?
This. See this stick? It's one selfie stick. It's still going. See this? Yeah,
you should beat every tourist with that because
I bring it to convention too, and then like I get like a lot of weird looks.
When we finally can go travel again and go to Asia, pull out your selfie stick and then just go over to the.
And they all think I'm using a drone because it looks like a drone shot. But I just posted today too. I'm not sure you saw. It's like
I saw it. Does it look? Yeah.
Spin and then go up. So I was working.
Oh, it does that too.
So it's 360 because you don't have to spin. You can spin afterwards.
Because I know, I know Lodia uses her drone thing for all her video, like a lot of her videos, not all, But it's really cool because I thought you used that.
No, it was. People think it's a drone. It's not. It's just a camera, a 360 camera on a stick. And so I'm not violating any rules about.
Oh, the little tiny one.
Yeah.
Oh,
right here.
my friend used that before.
So that's how big it is. That's it.
It's really tiny. Yeah.
And because it's 360, so you actually shoot, then aim instead of point and shoot. It's shoot and point because you can point anywhere afterwards.
Dude, I need to ask you about these camera things.
It's interesting. So it's fun
about it.
So I might try. So then it would look like a drone shot of me driving downtown.
Oh, tomorrow.
Or maybe on Friday when I'm not doing my show. But I'm not sure. I need to try to like have a stick while I'm driving.
You have to wear a mask now. You have to wear a mask now. Right?
We have to if you go outside. We see.
Yeah,
people.
right.
Yeah.
So you have to wear a mask.
But if I'm inside my car, I should be fine, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know any of the. There's
like
so
if
many
anything,
new
my
rules.
car should be the most contained area and 6 feet away from anyone. Because if anyone 6 feet near me, I might hit them.
It feels like we're living like sometimes it feels so surreal that this is happening. That sometimes when I wake up, I'm like, is this really happening?
And
it's really weird.
This is something gonna be in textbook for sure. Like all the
100%.
All the terminology that we have now, it's like listening to Grandpa talk about the war days. Like we were talking about like social distancing or like quarantine. Like those words sounds like when old people talk about like nuclear apocalypse. Like
has any of your friends gotten? You don't have to tell them.
My uncle did.
Oh.
So someone actually I know in real life. Because it's always something sounds like. I know someone of someone. It's like winning the lottery. It's like,
or you see on Facebook like a post
but it's
or
never
something.
someone you actually know,
right?
But now I actually know someone who did, and then I was actually checking in my cousin a few weeks ago. I mean, he's recovering, so it's good. But I was checking in on my cousin a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, how's everything going?" Because we're family. I want to make sure, and she wasn't sure if she would want to tell me too, because the reason is because we all feel like at least her dad doesn't want people to know because we're Asian, so we don't want people to worry. So of course, if things doesn't go well, we don't want people to worry. So
to be honest with you, I'm very afraid for my family who because of the surge of racism.
Oh yeah,
I'm very afraid. For my family and me.
If I was saying earlier too, like if the virus doesn't kill me, racism could. Like at least we're in LA, but if I am in any other places in America, I feel like I would get stabbed. It's like 9/11
honestly, it's scary
over
as
again.
Hell. I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I remember during 9/11, like lots of Middle Eastern people, they have to like put more American flags out to show that like we're not a terrorist, and it's such a strange concept, and now it's on us now.
Racism really makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Maybe the way I was brought up, my mom really instilled in me to accept everyone. And I'm very, I give a lot of thanks to my parents, like my mom especially, because she had so much love for everyone that I'm like, you know what? I never saw color growing up. And being treated differently because I was Asian really woke me up when I would grow up.
I can't wait, as I said this as jokingly, but seriously too, is that I can't wait when we're all equal. That sounds very wholesome, but that's not it. So I just want to tell people that they're an asshole because of what they did, because of their actions, not the color of their skin.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah. And I don't like when people blame someone because they are... Okay, I have a huge issue about this, and maybe a lot of people would disagree with me. And that's fine. But the thing is, blaming a certain race for the way you're treated, all of like why you're treated. I understand in America, there is a huge issue, obviously, because of the government, what they used to do, and like all racial profiling and blah, blah, blah. But I think that in general, like nowadays, there's no way that you can just say because of my race. Like, yes, we are treated different. We're always treated differently because of our race, but you can't blame all of it on your race.
Yeah, no, I want to feel like everything that I did well, because it's good, right? Because if I take it on myself, I mean, if I did horribly, it's my own fault. But if I also succeed, it's my own doing.
And I know that some people are racist. I mean, there's everywhere, but maybe they're silent about it. But I think that, blaming 100% because it's racism is a wrong way of thinking, because that's negative. Because like maybe you're just a crappy person. And that's why someone doesn't like you.
Yep. Like even among the same, let's say white American, not every one of them gonna be successful either. Same for you as an Asian, same as if you're black or whatever ethnicity you are or race.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people like to run away from the actual truth sometimes. And I'm not saying this is for
it's
everyone.
easy to move your blame to something else.
Yes, and I never, even when people say, "Oh, because you're Asian, you got this job," it actually hurts my feelings because not even
hardworking.
I'm like, I worked really hard to get here, and you're taking that away from me because you're saying you're not getting a chance because of your race. I understand that's a problem, but I'm Asian too. We are not people that get above anyone else because of our color. It's my work ethic. I don't sleep, girl or guy. I don't sleep, dude. I work all the time. Like, I don't deserve it. So before someone says or anyone says like, hey, it's because you are this race, they should think about what they say before they hurt someone because it's messed up.
If anything, especially in the internet culture now, I never blame content creator for what they are to do what they do. It's mostly the fans, it's a lot of
what do you mean by that?
So like, people would be like, oh, you are very popular right now because you are a girl, that's why people like you. But I'm like, that first of all, they don't get to decide if you're a girl or guy, that's kind of like how you work.
Yeah.
But also like, if anything, you blame the fans. It's the same. It's American. This is such a democratic idea that people should be embracing how great it is. Let's say people don't like Trump, okay? But Trump hasn't really changed. He's just real to himself. He's been very real. I thought that's what you wanted. If anything, you have problem with other people who wanting him, is your neighbor that doesn't have the same ideology as you. And same for content creator. Those content creator has been doing what they've been doing. And it's just that's what fans want. If you want to change people, you don't attack the content creator. You attack you change how people see, and you want how people understand your viewpoint as
your
much.
Work. Yeah, exactly.
And
I think that makes sense because a lot of times I see, especially, there's a huge reason why I don't talk about cosplay a lot, and I think this is a huge problem for people with me because they're like, "You're a cosplayer, you should stand up for cosplayers." I'm like, I just make stuff. I'm not like, it's not my identity, Like, you may want to put that word on me, cosplayer on me, but the thing is, I'm going to do what I want. I'm always going to do what I want. You're going to do what you want. So stop giving people labels. And I think that, a lot of times people do that to me and they say, oh, you got this because of that. And, or, not even me, they just judge on looks. And I'm like, but you don't understand that it takes time. And I've been in the scene for 13 years, 15 years.
Long time. Yeah. We've
all
seen the
been
changes.
Here for a long time. And the thing is, like, a lot of people say, oh, because you're given, you're handed things.
None of this is given. None of it
No,
is handed.
because we worked plenty of free jobs to get where we're at.
Oh, yeah.
We paid our dues, you know?
And this is both me using it to pave how I got.
And I still do free things all the time because it's not, I like doing
exactly.
it.
So here's what I do in the cosplay scene that is a way that paved my way forward to where I am now, but also for me to give back at the same time, which is interesting because who I am kind of change what that become, It's the same as, like paying for like a service, back then it's like you paying it because you want to support it. Or like you want to get in it, like you want to, I want to enjoy the service. But now it could be like you paying it because you want to give back. And that's how I make a cosplay photo. When I go to conventions, if I did a photo shoot with you and I don't do booking, I just find someone and I like, I like this, and it's like I'm gonna do a shoot with you.
Yeah.
And after the shoot, after it's done, you can have the photo for print for free. I don't care. For me it was always like, do whatever you want. I enjoy shooting with you. That was fun. If you want to use this as print, you want to make money, that's up to you. That's all you. Do whatever you want. Cosplayer was very surprised in the beginning when I did that.
Really?
Yeah, they were just like, wow, Martin just sent me the full rest photo and just let me use prints without
But actually,
asking any question.
That's what happened with me too. Because when I first started doing photo shoots, not cosplay. Cosplay I've been doing most of my life because, like I said, when I was 4 years old, my mom taught me how to sew. So like when I did photo shoots, they gave me all the high res back then.
Yep.
Because there's no money to be made because we didn't want to make any money.
There's no way to make money anyway.
We also didn't care. We're like, I look good in this costume I made.
Nice.
Whatever. Yeah, cool. Well, bye. That's it.
And now I still do it, and people are like, wow, that's very nice. And I'm like, to them, it's kind of like a give back as well. More like, I want to help you to do whatever you wanted to do.
I'm totally understanding that, like, because I've gotten to a point where I just make stuff for people, and I told them just don't credit me. I know a lot of people get really mad about this, but I do that all the time too. I don't want to get credited because I was working on my friend's wig recently, and she got a lot of another girl, and then I made her I helped make her costume, but I was like, don't credit me. I just like doing it. You know what I mean?
I do that a lot for my friends' photos too. Like,
right.
I was like, fun. I can shoot for you, I can edit it, just don't credit me. So it's just, it's yours. Do whatever you want.
I think it's super important to
have fun.
Like, just keep on doing things you like. I think a lot of times
they keep crediting me though.
Yeah.
No.
Like, the thing is, like, you don't need credit, sometimes.
Sometimes, like, as a rule, like, yes, you can use this as long as you don't credit me. But there were still times they still did, like, God dang it, what did I say?
I don't always need credit for what I do because I think I get a lot of arguments with that because my friends are like, you should always get credited. Yes, if it's like a job, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's important. But for me, if I'm making your wig and I don't really, it's easy for me,
especially
I'll do
the easy ones, yeah.
It's like for me, whatever.
It's few click of a buttons. I have been editing for over 20 years. Me editing photos gonna be, gonna be better, but most likely it's more easier for me than someone who has never touched Photoshop before.
100%.
So
yeah.
It'd be much more
just like me. I barely know anything about Photoshop.
Realistically, logically speaking, it'd be much more efficient. I love efficiency. It's so much efficient. You just let me 100%. Do it, and I mean, not that I will need to ask you a favor in the future, but like if I have a problem with, like, let's say I need someone to sew my button that came off, I'll be like, hey, can you help me out? Because you already have sewing kits, you know how to do this. For me, it would take me go to the supermarket or whatever to buy a sewing kit, and figure out how to sew and all that stuff.
It's really hard.
It'll be a headache for me. Like, I can do it. You can edit. You can do it, but it'll take you much longer and maybe not the best desired effect for rather than give to someone 2 minutes.
Like, it's just, since because you stream now. Well, you've been. And then I stream. Everyone streams now because we kind of
we're stuck inside.
We're stuck inside, exactly. We have to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Not our wall. But I feel like I like that people are starting to stream more because I actually get to know them as a person and not just an image. And I think that one thing I had a problem with cosplay becoming big is that people only judge me or people on just images. That is not reality. We are people that look like bummy, like when we're just chilling.
I'm wearing pajamas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have my pajamas on the side. I try, like, what I mean. Like, I don't think people. I think streaming is great because it covers the real person, and I think that do I like streaming more? Yes, I do. Like streaming way more than cosplay.
I like streaming because I get to express myself more.
100%. Yeah.
Especially for me, because at least for my it's really weird, and I've been talking about this too. In such a, it sounds such a great thing because that's what most content creators want. People like my content because of my content, not because of me. That sounds great on paper. It's like, they don't care about who you are, but they care about what you make. But then at the same time, they really don't care about me. So that's the whole downside about it,
Okay,
they care about my photos, my models in the photos, but then when it's me, it's very different. So again, it confuses them. They follow my account to look at pretty girls, but then it confuses them when sometimes I post my own photos, sometimes I'm talking about my life.
Then that means that you just have to get them used to it.
I'm doing more. So I'm doing a lot more. I'm streaming, I'm doing more story. In my April Fools that I even took a picture of myself again, or like I have my housemate help me, but it's a picture of myself.
That was great. Yeah, I saw that.
I had to shave my legs for that.
Yeah, and I think that like the more you do it, the more people get used to it, and I think that's great. Yeah. Like because when I first started,
and I get to be more real because I can explain because I cannot explain enough on Instagram or like on Twitter just to like word count, and I can't have that conversation saying like, this is how I see things. This is how I'm realist about certain things. It would sound maybe really bad on paper, on text.
Right.
But it make more sense if I
you're totally right because
articulate it.
When I was just doing photo shoots, no one even knew my sound of my voice, and I felt very sad because I was like, I'm not vain. Like people, they really think. I think when people met me the first time, they're like, "Dude, you seem super normal, like chill."
How
and I'm
dare
like,
you?
because I am. Like, because a lot of people think, okay, if you post pictures, you're vain. And it's not even that. It's because you work hard on a costume, you post it, and you really love the character, so you post the picture. Like, it's not like, I think that is great that you're showing who you really are.
It makes yourself
And that's
love
important.
yourself more too.
Yeah, for sure.
When you post more about yourself, because you're more
Yes.
accepting of
And
this is what
the thing. Some things that we do are not going to be popular, and that's okay. Because it's not
growing
supposed
up.
to
We
be
know that
popular.
pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not supposed to be popular.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, I could easily give myself a formula of being more popular, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to be happy. I'm not. So
I tread around both. I've done both,
Right.
Because
no, but you actually work in it, so you have to pay attention.
yeah.
I understand that. I totally understand that too.
Like, because for most people, they don't have enough power to change demand. If you can change demand, then yes, you can do whatever you want. And I have
Right.
conversation with some big cosplayer or influencer where they're like, they always say like, oh, just be yourself. It doesn't work like that for most people because
Right.
it's lucky for some people who they are is what people like.
Right. 100%.
But that's not the
Yeah.
same for everyone. So
I
sometimes
think it's
you
a
do.
formula though too, because you have to. For me, it's 3 things. You have to show people 3 things and really ingrain in their head what you are. Because if you're all over the place only doing popular things, I think that's a problem because no one's going to identify you from the millions of other people doing the same thing. You got to really, really push yourself to be that one thing. First, make a name for yourself first for that, and then you can expand. I tell this to people all the time, and I don't think people get it. They're always trying to do the current coolest thing, and I'm like, but there's 500 Jennies that are doing the same thing.
Yeah. So I
There's
would do the
500
things
cosplayers
where
doing
I'm
the same
like,
thing.
oh, look at this weird thing that you like a lot. That's cool, right? Now check out this other things that I like a lot.
Right, exactly. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, that's part of like your work because you're trying to balance it, right? So
What about Gundam? Is it popular for people, for you?
No.
Like, what?
Gundam is 100% not popular.
You
Let
love
me just
Gundam
tell you
so
right
much.
now, like I pressure the hell out of my the people that come into my chat. I pressure them. I say, you better start building. It's awesome. Like I can probably sell Gundam to anyone because I love it so much, and I think it's a great tool and activity to do when you're just wanting to be creative or wanting time for yourself and you don't have much time for yourself. And I just love the aesthetics of robots. I love robots. Like, they're
Do
everywhere.
you do the painting as well? That's the
Yeah, I
hard
paint
part,
as
feel like.
well. Airbrush.
I feel like the
I just
whole
haven't posted a lot of that because I was living in a small house with my dog. But then I moved already, so I'm gonna start painting again. So it's gonna
because
be
it
nice.
makes it so much cooler. The painting and the airbrush.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and there's so many really good customizers in China. Like,
When we
all
can
over
hang out
China.
again, can I come by so can we do some photos of it?
Yeah, easy. That would
I've
be
seen some
super
really
easy to do.
cool, hyper realistic.
Well, what's your favorite color though? You can make it
Blue.
your favorite color. Blue?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
so
do that.
but like I've seen some very cool like toy photographies. So I want to try some with some of the Gundams,
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that like now Gundams are getting pretty big, which I'm very happy about, but it's still not that big.
Yeah. Especially in America.
I still
Yeah.
build them all the time on stream, but
Oh yeah,
I
see-
know I don't get a lot
all
of
the time.
viewers, but it's okay. I don't care.
think it's fun.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. So yeah, so right now you're still doing mostly Gundam building stream, gaming stream. Anything else? Like, do you do like?
What do I do? Like, actually, for like a job?
I guess yeah, sure.
So they all got canceled because of this. They all got so I actually design a lot for companies for costumes. I know that I don't talk about this a lot, but that's a lot of my main money maker. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't have a Patreon." I have no Patreon. I have no what's that? OnlyFans. I don't have any of that. Mainly because I'm kind of like the way I work. I'm not very good. I already asked you how to use this. I'm very bad with internet stuff. So I'm very good with face-to-face but business relation stuff. So majority of the work that I get are mainly from contract work. So all of my work is contract work from game companies, and I work with them. And then also making designs and stuff like that for, like, my next job was supposed to be for Tao Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
A big project
That's super
with them.
cool.
And it was to design something for them. Can't really delve into it, but since
of
this
course.
happened, you know, I was going to
It's
get a budget
tricky.
and everything. It's not going to happen.
There
probably.
was a few gigs that I was supposed to do as well. I was supposed to do a shoot with a esport team, the new apparel line.
Yo, okay.
I was supposed to work with another company to build a whole new desktop, which I really desperately knew. My desktop is like 10 years old.
Oh, snap.
But then, like, you know, because of this, you know, things is kind of like locked down.
Everybody's going through it. It's tough.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. So
it's really
we'll see.
tough, but you know, we gotta work through whatever we can and try to figure out like things that we can do at home.
So yeah, well, I'm glad that, you know, we were able to do this. This is what I'm doing now, and I enjoy it a lot.
I love it. Yeah,
to talk to people for real, you know.
Yeah, and I really like that. You know, I understand more about you.
Yeah.
and I feel like this whole thing is about like being Asian. It's like
it's a big part of our life, big part of our identity, and it's something we have to go through. So it's
rough, you know.
It's hard
like
to share
sometimes.
that too. So I'm glad to have someone to share with, and they kind of have the same experience.
Because I never talk about race online.
Because people don't bring it up. You know?
They don't bring. I don't like bringing it up because I never want to make people think I feel bad for myself. I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy for who I am, but it was never always easy.
Oh, it was not easy. Correct.
No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
It was
not in the 80s and 90s. Hell no.
Yep.
Like,
I was talking to Jimmy. Same thing. It's like now. I'm not saying now it's cool, but it was super uncool. Now
super uncool.
It was
and
so
you are like
uncool.
not liked. You would not get a date. You would not have a chance.
One of the things that really stuck with me was that I first moved to America, so I went to elementary school. I think it was at the end of elementary school. But anyway, the point was I made some friends in the same because in America you all kind of live in the same area to go to the same school.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
So I live in the apartments. There's some of the kids are also living in the apartments that go to the same school. They would pick on me in school, but then we'll be friends when we're in the apartment complex because it's not cool to be friends with me in school. But I was really happy about they were still being friends with me in the apartments. But it's so bad.
That's bad.
That was really bad. Yeah.
That's really bad. That's actually, well, my growing up, it wasn't that bad because there was other Asians living, you know, going to school. I went to a school where there was a lot of Asians. I had quite a bit of friends, a lot of lady friends when I was growing up. But I think that in general, some were favored more because obviously of their race, and then also not made fun of easily. Because my parents didn't speak very good English, and everyone pointed that out, which I already knew, and that was really annoying.
Yeah.
But you know, now it's cool. So yay for us.
Yay, finally. Like,
you know, but now it's like we're worried about leaving our house because we might get shot or something. I don't know. Like some crazy stuff. Or stabbed.
Yeah.
Or stabbed or something.
I have a knife with me at all time, and luckily I haven't had to use it yet. But
I'm thinking about like all of that stuff right now because I'm definitely afraid of like people right now.
And it's both for you. It's multiple things. For you, it's both being Asian and being a internet persona, a woman as well.
Also a woman. You know, I think that it's kind of sad to wake up knowing that I have to always protect myself or worry about how I'm looked upon. Like, I think that, you know, being a person online, you have to be very careful about what you say, you know, and I don't want to. Because, like, I really don't want to.
There are people that, you know, unfortunately, they have mental disorder, you know? They're born with it. You know, it's not their fault, but it's how they're born with, and they would maybe have some obsession over a certain idea, and they can spend all their time and energy to hurt someone because they can.
Luckily, I've never gotten any of those things, which is crazy. I got one person that was crazy coming to a convention. He wanted to kill me. And I was like, okay, but then he was in a mental hospital right after. I had a restraining order on him. I don't know where he is now.
Meg Turney on the show next week. Someone
I heard about what happened to her.
And tried to shoot her in the face. Oh my
dude, I saw that. That was freaking scary.
That was scary too, and she didn't even told us about it until like afterward too, until the news broke out. But I was like, I haven't heard her for like a month, you know, and then suddenly, that's why she was being quiet. Yeah,
I can't even.
That's a scary.
I mean, that's also part of the reason why I'm very private. I think a lot of times with in circles when I'm out, I don't say much because I don't want anyone. To be honest with you, I don't think if I meet like my neighbors, like my new neighbors, I don't say anything. They always ask me what I do. I say, I just work in design. I don't say anything.
Yep.
Yeah, and I always hope that none of my neighbors know who I am.
Yep.
So I'm
yep.
just like, luckily my neighbors are all old.
I'm trying to be very private as well. Anything that I usually say is already public information. So that's the things that you know about me. But other than that, it's mostly kind of nobody knows.
I don't really hide too many things about myself, except for, of course, where I live. But I'm very transparent generally to my following and stuff like that.
I'm just so cautious.
You're so cautious. Well, you should be. I mean, everyone should be.
They should be, yeah.
They should be. But I think that, especially with like how I feel about certain subjects, I will say it.
Oh, yeah.
I will say it for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been great. How can people find you?
Oh, so all the social media, luckily, was not stolen. So my name is VampyBitMe everywhere. VampyBit me. And that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch.
How did you even get the name? It's
a joke. Stuff. It's a joke. It was a freaking joke. So my ex was looking for websites with me, and I said Vampy should be my website, and he's like, I agree. And I said, well, and then you know how they have .com, .me. At that time, it said they had me, and I said, oh, VampyBitMe, that'd be funny. And it stuck with me, which I'm very sad about because it sounds stupid. And I think it's cute. Oh, thank you. Well, I still think it's stupid, but it stuck with me. And the sad part is, right when I named my website that and my name, I guess I got one picture kind of launched my cosplay crap that I'm doing right now. I call it crap because I don't know what the hell was going on at that time. And I said, am I stuck with VampyBitMe? I was so stressed out because I was like, I don't want that. But it stuck with me forever, so now it's everywhere.
I think it's great. I don't know.
I'm glad now. Thank you. I didn't like it before, but I should try to. I mean, I'm liking it still. Obviously, I'm using it for all my social media.
Would you have picked something else?
I would, if I could, it would have been something else for sure.
Would it be more close to your name?
No, just something. I don't think it's not
maybe because how you got it was silly.
No, because people keep asking me to bite them. I don't want to bite anyone. I don't want to touch anyone. I'm already in my room or my house 24/7. I don't want to touch anyone, especially biting someone. Like that would be the last thing I want to do to someone. Yeah,
it makes sense for Vampy as well. So
I guess.
Great.
Thanks so much.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. This has been
great.
Thanks
for having me. Yeah. That was really fun. Really intense.
Oh, super intense. I mean, it's great. That's the kind of conversation I want to have. It's go from one to other very smoothly. It's just like, what have we been talking about?
I just feel like I've never talked about my Asian angst before, but I did today, and I feel a lot better.
It's like a therapy session.
I feel a lot. Yeah, it does. I'm like, because I never talk about it. I never talk about race.
Yeah, but I mean, I love to talk about it. So
I noticed that.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. You can watch us also later on YouTube, listen to it on Spotify or iTunes or anywhere else. Thanks for all the follow and sub. And we're going to have the show every Tuesday to Thursday right now for 7 p.m. So making sure you come by again tomorrow and catch us. Tomorrow we have... Who do we have tomorrow?
You have Trish, right?
I do, yes.
Trish is awesome. Tell her I said hello.
I will. I will for sure.
Her, but you should tell her I said hello too.
I will do that as well.
I don't think I've ever met her. No.
It's weird because sometimes there's lots of people that we feel like we know, but we don't remember we have met them because we do so many things. I don't think
I've met her, but then we both follow each other. We were supposed to meet up one time for some kind of project, but we didn't.
Wait till quarantine over. My friend was saying that like maybe on my 100th episode, I should just bring a bunch of different guests from different industries that know each other, and it's like let's all hang out and talk together.
Yeah, ask me because I want to talk to people.
Okay,
they need an introduction because I'm so like awkward. So
maybe not even 100 because we're on 20. So let's just do like maybe 50, the 50th episode. It's like, hey, let's do every gathering.
Have me back because I probably won't be doing anything. So,
alrighty.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you all later.